I need to let you know that your CV has to be well tailored and targeted to a job role or an advertisement. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Barbara Omo, and as usual I film about family, career, lifestyle and all things relocation, settling in a new city. Guys, it feels like it's been a long time. We had a sit down chit chat. We've been having a lot of vlogs thanks to all the good people that has graced this channel in the past 1 month thereabouts. Right now, I'm taking my channel back. Today, I am sitting down to discuss a very important topic, like you might already know by the title and the thumbnail of today's video. Okay, guys. So before we get carried away, I acknowledge that the channel has been growing significantly, and I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, want to welcome all our new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for engaging my posts. I sincerely appreciate all of your goodwill and all of your comments. I try to respond to each and every one of you, like you already might have noticed. And I'm just glad that you're here, guys. Please sit down, relax, and enjoy yourself, okay? I have these papers with me. They are my CVs that I had to print out. Yes, because today is an important business and I really did not want to forget any of my major points. I have recorded a video in the past concerning CVs and how to build up a very good CV and all of that good stuff. I did that whilst I was still in Nigeria, and everything I said in that video is still relevant till today. So I'm going to link that video somewhere here and possibly in the description box below. Please do well to go watch that video. However, if you are someone who is relocating or have just relocated and you're trying to build up your Canadian CV, most especially obviously because that's where I am, I want to encourage you to watch the video to the very end. You will get useful tips and tricks and insights on how to build your CV. Before I came into Canada, I had attended career fairs. I have attended pre-arrival programs, workshops, and all of that good stuff that helps you with everything you need to know about developing a good CV for Canadian standard. And that's knowledge, as well as my HR background, and of course my continuous practice has helped me to build this CV that I am now proud of and that I twist and turn here and there to fit any job I am applying for. Let us start from the very beginning, guys. So the first thing I need you to know when it comes to a Canadian style CV is that it's usually 2 pages. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot go over to 3 pages, but it is usually, and you are advised to stick to 2 pages. Whatever you have within your career journey that suits that particular role is what you should have on your CV. Every other thing that is part of what you are, you can sum it up in your professional summary. Remember, for every general rule, there might be exceptions. But once it's more, you do not know the mind of whoever it is on the other end. So it's always good to keep it or limit it to 2 pages. I think we need to get that out of the way. Something else that is very important is your personal details. And that should be catchy enough to grab the attention of whoever is looking at that CV. Immediately they pick up your CV. So I should not have to start looking for where you put your name or where your address is or where your email address is or where your phone number is. All of those good stuff, I do not have to search too much to find them. So they should not be at the end of the page. They should not be somewhere hidden in between your rows. They should not be somewhere at the corner. They should be at the center of the page. The first 3, 4, 5 lines of that page should contain your personal details so that if I need to reach out to you, I am not looking for information. Your name should be highlighted, not so much that it covers the entire page, but it should just be highlighted significantly that I look at it, I know that, okay, this person's name is Barbara. Your address, your phone number, your email address, your LinkedIn profile, I find out to be very useful as well. So I put my LinkedIn profile link there so that if you need to check me up, what's going on with her professionally, you can check that out and yeah, you get all the information that you need. that being said, it means that your LinkedIn profile needs to be up to date. So that's out of the way. Let's talk about professional summary. People that have really extensive years of their career, it's difficult to sum up all of these things in 2 pages. I'm about hitting the 10-year milestone in my career, but I find that I'm always struggling with getting all of these things in 2 pages, and that's why a professional summary is good. So the professional summary would help you summarize everything about your career into 4 or 5 bullet points that highlight everything you have done in your career. That would make you have good use of the other part of the pages, which would now contain those job roles that directly impact the advertisement. What I do for every job role I am applying for, I take a look at all the roles and responsibilities in the advertisement, and I use that to, of course, because is a job title that I have done previously or that I'm doing currently. So I use that to build up my professional summary. So I need them to see that. I need to marry both of them together. I need to marry the roles and responsibility of the core of the role I'm applying for, and then my skill and expertise that I have gathered all through the years. I need to just marry them together to show that sync, that they are both in sync, right? I also like to use some buzzwords to start off every bullet point. For instance, I can start with foreign trained lawyer, an expert in this, or adept in report writing, or experienced in that, or proficient in that. So those buzzwords, it's important that you use that at the beginning of every bullet point. It just creates, it's a buzzword, so it draws the attention. Exactly. So it just creates that spark in their head, like, oh, this is good. So instead of just saying I have project management skill, I have HR experience, no, proficient in this, experienced in this, expert in that, and use that to start off every sentence in your professional summary. Okay. Another thing is, at the end of a professional summary, it's always nice to have your skill sets. All of those skills that relates to the job. So for instance, if you're applying to be a communications advisor, you need public speaking skills, you need oral and written communication skills. Those are the skills that you should be writing. So you should speak to skills that highlight what the job is looking for. And the good part of these things is, with Canadian job advertisements, they always give those skills they are looking for. It's always there in the advertisement. So look at the skills there, look at the ones that you have, play around them, use the same words or use synonyms of those words, and you'll be good. Something else that I like to put on my CV, it is not compulsory, but I just like to give you a fair picture of my industry footprint. What that means is the kind of industries I have worked in. So I'll tell you, oh, I've worked in government administration, I have worked in the telecommunications industry, I've worked in insurance, I've worked in the law firm. It just shows that you are well-rounded. It shows that you have touch points in different places, and that builds your wealth of experience. You're not just stuck in one place. I write from the most recent industry I've worked to, and I just take it all the way back. Let's move on really quickly to professional experience. Now, I've said so before that with professional experience, you start with the most recent. I see that in Nigeria, we're doing it the opposite way. So what they do here is they want to see the role first. Nigeria, most times we write, I worked in Lagbaja industry. Then under, you will not write as the cashier. But here, they want to see the role first. So what you write first would be the role, because it's that role that has built your experience to be able to say you can do this job they're applying, that they advertised for. So it's important that you highlight that role first. So I worked as a cashier in Lagbaja industry from April to August. Now they also want to see whether it was a full-time role or if it was part-time. So part-time is 20 hours, full-time is 40 hours. So was it a full-time role? Was it a part-time role? They need to see that as well. Also, you highlight the important things you have done in that role that relates to the work that you want to now do in this job that has been advertised. Everything should be tied to this job you want to advertise, this job that has been advertised for. So the bigger picture in your head should be the job that you are applying for. And that's why I said they should be side by side. So that should be the bigger picture. So you're trying to convince these guys that you have the skill set to do this job. There should be value. So the value add in each of those roles. I did this and that helped us to do this. For other roles you've done in the past, you should speak to that role, to those roles in past tense. You have to pay attention to the tiny details. Even if the job title is different from what you have done before. Say for instance, they need a communication advisor. That is the title of this job advertisement that you want to apply for. And then what you have done in the past is brand rep, for instance, a brand representative. I do not advise that you should change your job title from brand rep to communication advisor. No, that is not how to go about it. Stick with your job title under professional experience as brand representative. However, in the professional summary, it is allowed for you to say in your current work or previous work, you have functioned as a communication advisor, and then you list all the things you did. Okay? You are allowed to say, okay, I have not had this job title, but the job role I did ties really closely to this work that you have under communication advisor. I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section. Okay, so you list out all of your professional experience, have all they are very particular about the start date and the end date, about whether it's a full-time job or it's a temporary job, title of the role itself, as well as the firm where you did that role. Is it in Canada or is it in another country? All of that information, they need it there in case they need to reach out to them. And then, yeah, just have all of the duties you have that ties closely to, you don't have to have everything. I noticed that then in Nigeria, what we try to do is we want to show that, when I was in this place, the work I was doing was bulky. So you want to have like 12 bullet points under your legal officer, for instance. You want to have 12 bullet points saying, I did this, so that they will know that you're very busy. No, that's not the case. So 2 or 3 bullet points per job title is good to go. So you can just fit them into each other and just show how they relate to the job. So not every previous work or previous tasks you were doing would relate to the new one you're applying for. So just try to sift out the ones that you feel are not so relevant and ensure that you highlight the ones that are relevant and ties closely to the job advertisement. Another thing that is really important will be your education. And because you are foreign trained, it's important that when you are highlighting your education, you also include if it has been evaluated or if you have done some form of assessment that brings it in line as an equivalent of what they have here. Most people that come here already have those evaluations done. So if you have it, for instance, if you use West to evaluate, you'll be able to write my LLB from University of Nsukka or University of Nigeria Nsukka is equivalent to a 4 years law degree in Canada. It has been assessed by, say, West Canada or say ICAS or any of those educational assessment bodies, and this is what it is. So they have some respite that, okay, this person, whatever, I don't know what the degree the person says she has, but she has said that it has been assessed by West, so it can be verified that she has this, and this is what it means in Canada. So whatever it is she did there, it means that in Canada is equivalent of a 4 years degree. Okay, that works for us. That's how it works. So it's difficult for you to say, I have SSCE. What is SSCE? They don't know. So has it been evaluated? What does that give you as an equivalent in Canada or in whatever country you are in? So those are the kind of things you want to put in your CV. So anytime I write my educational qualification, I always have that small footnote that says this has been evaluated by this educational body and it means this in Canada, and I have the certificate to show for it. Like upon request, you can always present that to them and they can review it and see what it is, or they can verify themselves from the educational body. Okay, so I always have that. Another thing I love to put in my CV would be the volunteer experience. Guys, we have said so countlessly on this channel, is now music to our ears whenever we say that it's important that you volunteer. You are currently volunteering or you volunteered in the past. All of those volunteer experience, at least 1 or 2 of them should find a way, should find a place on your CV. So I, for one, I have two, but sometimes when I run out of space, I tend to delete one and leave the most recent one. Yeah, I also sometimes I tend to run out of space myself. So volunteer experience is good. It's like your own individual social responsibility. Just like you have the CSR, corporate social responsibility, you also have your individual social responsibility. So volunteering is good and is a good place, is a good thing to have on your CV. So something that I would like to speak on really quickly would be a cover letter. For every CV that you are sending out, please ensure that it goes with a cover letter. I know in Nigeria, not every CV requires a cover letter. Some would tell you they don't need a cover letter, just send your CV. But in Canada, it is one of the general principles that your CV should be accompanied by a cover letter. Some will expressly say so in the job advertisement, some wouldn't, but it is just that unwritten rule that it should always have a cover letter. And your cover letter cannot be, your CV cannot be speaking about left and your cover letter is speaking about right. So it has to be also aligned in such a way that they are speaking to the same things, they are highlighting the same things and all of that good stuff. Showing your skills as well. I am good with this, this and this, and I believe positively that I can be a good addition to the team because, so you need, that's the point where you now highlight like 2 or 3 things that makes you distinct, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your time and consideration, and then you sign off. That's all. CVs and cover letter, please ensure that you are not doing one without the other. They go together. Ensure that you properly label your CV. That's something that's very important. Ensure that you properly label your CVs, because you get to send, if you are job hunting, you get to send different CVs. And you don't want to get an invitation and then you're wondering, oh my God, when did I submit? What did I submit? I never run into those kind of issues because I properly label all my CVs. I have an entire folder on my computer that has all my CVs that I have sent and the job IDs. I label them properly. If I get an invitation, I go and look at all the CVs I have sent and then pick out the one I sent to that particular organization and then study it closely with the job advertisements for that role so that I am well prepared for the interview. Another thing I love to do, I've gotten to the tips and tricks right now, would be a job scan. So what does a job scan do? A job scan would literally put your CV alongside with the job advertisement and then rank it. So usually you must have done this very fantastic CV. You think you've exhausted everything, and then when you put it on the job scan, it scans through both the advertisement and your CV, and then tells you what the percentage is like. Usually it's always good to be between the range of 70 to 75. It's a paid for app. Is it an app or a website? It's a website, I believe. Yeah, but it's paid for, but then you have a free trial. So you can use that to scan through your CV, ensure that it matches, what the recruiter will be looking for, and then it passes the 70% check at least before you send that CV. Okay, that's something else that I do. And yeah, I think if you have more questions about this, please let me know. I've been speaking for a very long time. Yeah, and I think that the message has been passed. You would agree with me that it's not an easy process, but it is doable if you are hungry for a job, so that you pass ATS and so that you get called for the next stage. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you have more questions, please leave it for me in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer all of it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.